Buenas tardes. I'm very happy to be here in Mérida, Mexico. It's been a wonderful conference so far. I am really honored to be here because I think Miguel Martinez Ramos invited us and created a wonderful program. And I represent the Africa chapter for ATBC. I've been a member since 2008. And from the first time in the meeting in Suriname, I fell in love with ATBC, mainly because there are people from all over the tropical world and people who are here to share their experiences, their knowledge, and their ideas. I am originally from Tanzania, and where I continue my research and conservation work. And what's important about that is we did the first ATBC conference in Africa in 2011. And one of the reasons was to try to encourage more people from Africa and other parts of the world in the South to be able to come and engage in the tropical biology and conservation work that ATBC tries to promote. Now, as part of the Africa chapter, which was very recently formed, obviously the birth of it was the beginning of ATBC 2011 in Arusha, but really in Montpellier last year we started the formation where there was a large contingency of Africans from all over the continent as well as those based in other institutions around the world who were able to congregate, and also other people working outside of, who are based outside of Africa but working in the continent. And so we started the Africa chapter, and this year we are continuing in Mexico. And our main goal is to basically foster conservation, to encourage capacity building, because that is something that is badly needed for conservation and science in the tropics, in particular on the continent. And in addition to that, I think that what's also important is to try to raise awareness about a lot of the difficulties that tropical biologists face in terms of conserving nature, which ultimately is very important for human livelihood. I think one of the challenges that we face in trying to encourage membership and engagement in Africa is very evident, for example, here in ATBC in Mexico, because I think a lot of Africans would have loved to come, but the biggest limiting factor is not the will, but it is mostly the funding and the difficulty to travel. And some even got visas or failed to get visas to come. So it is really unfortunate, but it is something that we have to change in the world, because to be able to be with Latin American scientists, for example, and there's so many here, I think is a blessing, because tropical scientists can talk to tropical scientists. And for example, collaboration can be enhanced in this way, where, as you heard early this morning, it's really important to try to increase not necessarily north-south collaboration, but south-south collaboration, because that is where the tropics basically is in the south. And if people can hear from a Latin American scientist, a scientist from Asia, and a scientist from Africa sharing their experiences about a common theme, it just enhances what we can do in terms of humanity for the world. And a great example is the video created by the government of Mexico that they showed us yesterday, where they're showing us the truth. They're showing the great biodiversity of Mexico. Then they're showing how people have destructed a lot of the biodiversity, but then they show us what we can do to change that and reverse that. And the acknowledgement of the government of Mexico that yes, we as humans have harmed the environment in Mexico, but we are going to do something about it is extraordinary. And seeing that video for us can help all of us who attended understand the importance of how governments and how they acknowledge the truth about destruction, and yet will change and alter their practices by raising awareness, is something that we can learn from here too.